In this video, I'm going to share with you how to maximize 3 hours and 15 minutes for your ICAN exam paper. You would agree with me that ICAN exams are not so hard, but the syllabus can be very voluminous. So time is always the limiting factor in terms of preparation and in terms of answering the exam questions in the exam hall. So a typical ICAN exam paper, like would last for 3 hours and 15 minutes. So how can you use 3 hours and 15 minutes to answer your questions in the exam hall so that you can pass? You can have the pass mark of 50 or even beyond. I've heard a lot of student members complaining that the time is always limited. This is very true. Like I said earlier, time is the limiting factor. So it will be better for you to enter into the exam hall with a plan on how to maximize your time and spread the 3 hours 15 minutes for the 7 questions that you will be asked. So the exam is usually divided into question 1, question 2, question 3, question 4, question 5, question 6, and question 7. Question 5, 6, and 7 belong in section 3. Question 2, 3, 4 belongs in section 2. And question 1 belongs in section 1. So this is how the ICAN exam usually comes, okay? In question 1, you have to claim 30 marks, 30%. So whatever you do here in section 1, the maximum mark you can get is 30%. And this 30% is not even enough for you to pass the ICAN exam, right? You need to have a minimum of 50%. In section 2, you have to claim a maximum of 40%, right? You have 20% per question. So you are asked to answer 2 questions so that you can claim a maximum of 40%. And in section 3, you have to claim the balance, which is 30%, because you have questions of 15% each. That's 15 marks, and you have to answer a maximum of 2, or you have to attempt. You don't have to answer. They always say attempt the questions. I'm sure that you guys are familiar with this structure, because for you to even watch this video or for you to search or come across this video, you must know what the ICAN exam is all about, right? But for people that don't know, ICAN exam is a professional exam written by accounting students or non-accounting students to become a member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria. So it means that if you are trying to claim 30 marks in section 1 and 30 marks in section 3, then you must spend the equal amount of time here. But most times, students tend to spend so much time on section 1, and that has happened to me. In my first ICAN exam paper, which was FR, Financial Reporting in Skills Level, after 1 hour 30 minutes, I was still in question 1. I don't even know how I passed that paper, but that was the case for me. So I'm going to break down the time for you on how many minutes you should spend in section 1, section 2, and section 3. This is the section 2, that you should actually spend the largest or the highest number of time. But most people just rush section 2 because you have 20 marks to claim, a total of 40 marks here. So one way to remember the length of time that you should spend in each section is to put section 1, just put 4 on top of section 1, put 3 on top of section 2, and put 2 on this section, like 4, 3, 2. This has worked for me. 4, 3, 2, right? So in section 1, you should spend 45 minutes, right? 45 minutes on section 1. It doesn't matter which question you start first. Understand what I'm saying? You should spend 45 minutes in section 1. And here, you should spend 35 minutes per question. So you're spending 70 minutes in total in this section. I don't know if that makes sense. So that's why I said 4, 3, 2. So here you are using 25 minutes. You have 2 questions to answer. So that's why I said 4, 3, 2. So that when you get to the exam hall, instead of you saying I was asked to spend 70 minutes in section, you're not trying to cram all those things or to make your exam process complex because you're mastering time. So once you just put your section 1, section 2, and section 3 into 4, 3, 2. Do you understand? You know that it's 45 minutes you're spending here, 35 minutes per question here, and 25 minutes per question here. So like you can see, you have 70 minutes to use here. You have 50 minutes to use here, which is almost the same as 45 minutes. Now, once you add up all of this together, we'll see if it is equal to 3 hours and 15 minutes, okay? So here and here, this is 120 minutes. Then 120 minutes plus 45 minutes. That's 2 hours and 45 minutes. So if you have 2 hours and 45 minutes out of 3 hours and 15 minutes, you have 30 minutes extra. And that 30 minutes extra, you will not even know where it will go to, because most times, plus or minus, you will spend more than this time I have stated in your question. You understand? So just know that in your question 1, that big question, at whatever time you start, I'm not saying you have to start with question 1, but at whatever time you start. If, for example, you start question 1 at 11 o'clock sharp, not by 11:45, you must stop, because you already know the amount of time you should spend in section 1 that would almost guarantee you success. Okay, so 45 minutes on question 1 is enough. Then in this section, question 2, question 3, question 4, you have to answer 2 out of this section. So you spend 35 per one, 35 per one. Okay, as you can see, you are trying to claim 20%, not 30%. So the time has reduced to 35 minutes. Okay, so a total of 70 minutes will be spent in section 2. And that was why I said, because you're trying to claim 40 marks in this question, that's why you have to spend the highest number of time. I think I've explained too much. Let me rub off the board and tell you the summary of everything I'm trying to say, right? On how to maximize your 3 hours and 15 minutes in your ICAN exams. You know that you have section 1, section 2, and section 3. So just use my principle 4, 3, 2. Okay? 4, 3, 2. So in section 1, 4, 3, 2. So you have 45 minutes per question, 35 minutes per question, and 25 minutes per question. Does that make sense? So you have extra 30 minutes to play around, because all of this will give you 2 hours and 45 minutes out of a total time of 3 hours 15 minutes. Remember that this 15 minutes is even for reading that time, and sometimes these examiners will still eat out of your time. You guys know these things. So you still have plus or minus 30 minutes to check your work, to write the questions you've answered, to do all those last minute rema that you drop in your papers. So I wish you guys success. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you watched up to this point, don't forget to like my video and share with anybody that you know that will find this particular video helpful. You could also subscribe to my personal channel. The link will be in the description box. It's Tolu herself. This is going to be my accounting channel for those of you that already know that I do accounting videos, and we pray that one day we'll go bigger than a virtual platform and we can become an academy. In Jesus' name, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and share this video, and I'll see you in my next class. Bye.